Hey guys, this is very cool. I mean, I've had many interviews in my life, but this is by far the coolest scene to have an interview. And Frank, of course, is one of the coolest interview partners you can have. So, call him or write him. This is the coolest thing you can ever do if you want to have an interview. So the hourly wage or the daily salary is about 4 times as high with us than with other insurers. That's the figures.
Well, I saw on the web page that you're selling, also OneInsurance is selling household and liability insurance. And I read on your website something about OneCoach. What is OneCoach?
OneCoach is actually what we are most proud about. It's a piece of our app that collects data on you and advises you to how to avoid risks. So this is the beginning of our risk prevention journey. And that's basically the journey we want to be on. The one policy is nice, but the real disruption comes from our risk prevention journey.
Well, so OneCoach is something like lifestyle insurance? Is it the right term, or?
It's not an insurance, it's basically an advisor that advises you as a customer to avoid risks. So we know much better than everybody else because we have the statistics when risks possibly arise, and so we can predict that and we can warn you, or we can solve situations for you as a customer, as a user, that you might run into and that might bear some risk for you. So it's basically an advisor and a helper for you to avoid risk.
Okay, so let's say OneCoach is a kind of a personal risk assistant.
That's about it. It's a personal risk assistant.
Perfect. Understood. And this OneCoach, is it working together with the product, or is it really independent from a product?
Today it's working with the product, and unfortunately it's working behind the product, so you need to buy a OneInsurance first and then get the coach. In future it should be the other way around. So in future you should come to One because you want to have this personal risk assistant, but as even the assistant is not smart enough to prevent all risk from happening to you, and potentially you want to have some risk in your life, we need insurance that comes after the prevention, and that insurance will be the One policy. So in future we turn this entire thing around and you come to us for the coach and you stay with us because you have insurance.
So OneCoach is a kind of answer to the struggling of all insurers, more or less, that they have not that much engagement with their customers. Is that also right to say?
I think it's a side product, you're right. We will have, and we do have a lot of interactions with our coach users, but that's a side effect. The main effect is indeed to reduce the risk for and with our users. And with it comes more interaction with the user. That's true.
This sounds to me at first sight mainly to have kind of prevention. Mm-hmm. What about rehabilitation? Is it also a topic later on, or is this?
Absolutely yes. It's a 3-step approach if you want. It's prevention first, and then assistance, as we call it, rehabilitation, and then it's insurance. So we will start now, actually, in October, with a product that comes with assistance. So we take care of you once something happens, and this will be an integral part of the coach.
So OneCoach will be a smart way to interact with your clients, but as you work with brokers, are they interested? Are they really interested that you are so much engaged with their clients?
That's a good question, and the answer is some are and some are not. So it's very clear that we share all the data that we collect and all the information we exchange with the customer, with the broker who brought the customer to us. But not everybody is fine with that. I guess the journey is clearly going in that direction, but there is a segment of brokers that doesn't like it yet.
Well, I would like to touch another topic with you. ecosystem. I know it's let's say a long-term topic, but I believe that insurers today have to tackle this topic because it will be a very, very important topic soon. So first of all, the question to you, what is an ecosystem?
Oh, that's a good question and a big word, of course. For us, an ecosystem is a center where people meet, users, customers meet and get a service or a product. And around that service or product are other services that make this service or product complete and even better. So that's probably what we would call a ecosystem, but it's a big word.
And why do you think that ecosystems are so important for insurers?
Well, as everybody, insurers need to find a way to the user or the customer, and it's hard for insurance because it's just not fun to buy insurance, and so it's very hard to center an ecosystem around insurance, and so I think insurers will need to look for ways to get connected to ecosystems that attract users through a cool and crazy value proposition, and then get attached to that, because insurance for sure is not a cool and crazy value proposition.
And what or where is the ecosystem that OneInsurance is building?
Yeah, that's a great question because we are bold, I would say, to try our own ecosystem. And again, as I said, I think it's not wise to create an ecosystem around insurance because it's just not sexy. So what we decided is we create an ecosystem around risk prevention and assistance. So we create an ecosystem where you feel safe, and even if something happens to you, we take care of it. So we think this is a much better value proposition to center an ecosystem around, and that's what One wants to be.
Okay, so One Coach is in the end your ecosystem.
Correct. That's the center of the ecosystem,
yeah.
And we will attach other services and other providers to this ecosystem to make the value for the customer and the user even bigger.